Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever really stopped to wonder what the ultimate hope for a Christian actually looks like? Well, there's a single passage in 1 Corinthians where the Bible lays out this absolutely breathtaking event, a great transformation for believers. So today, let's unpack what that really means.
Okay, so to really grasp the incredible solution the Bible offers, we've got to first get a handle on the problem it's solving. And it's a huge one, a challenge that the text says is totally universal to the human condition.
Here it is, the core issue, laid out plain and simple by the Apostle Paul. Our physical bodies, our flesh and blood, well, they're temporary. They get old, they decay, they die. They're just not built for the eternal, never-ending reality of God's kingdom. And that right there raises a massive question, doesn't it? If our very nature, the bodies we live in, holds us back, how could anyone ever enter that kingdom? I mean, what's the way forward? Well, the good news is Paul doesn't just leave us stuck with a problem. He immediately turns right around to reveal God's absolutely stunning and mysterious answer to what seems like an impossible situation. The key word here is mystery. Now, in the Bible, a mystery isn't some puzzle we have to solve. No, it's a profound truth that was once hidden but is now being revealed by God. And this amazing mystery all centers on one powerful idea: change, a total divine transformation. So what kind of change are we talking about here? We're talking about a resurrection. And this isn't just about your soul surviving death. It's about the complete reversal of death, giving believers a body equipped for eternity with God. Let's get really clear on what this means. You see, from a biblical viewpoint, death is when our soul separates from our body. Resurrection is the exact opposite. It's that incredible moment when our soul is reunited with a body. But it's a brand new, perfect, glorified body that's literally designed for forever. And believe me, we desperately need this upgrade. Think about it like this. A deep-sea diver can't just jump in the water and explore the bottom of the ocean, right? They need special equipment. Well, in the same way, we can't experience the fullness of heaven in these current bodies. They're just wearing out. This change is what equips us perfectly for our eternal home. This longing for a new body, it isn't just wishful thinking. The Bible talks about it as a deep spiritual reality. Paul says that just as all of creation kind of groans under the weight of being imperfect, we too have this inner groaning, eagerly waiting for the day our bodies will finally be redeemed and made new. But here's where it gets even more remarkable. This mystery reveals something absolutely stunning, that an entire generation of believers will get to bypass death completely. So listen to this line again. When Paul says, "We shall not all sleep," and sleep is just a biblical metaphor for death, he's revealing that the generation of Christians who are alive when this event happens will be transformed without ever tasting physical death. In an instant, they'll be changed. Now, as incredible as that sounds, the idea of God taking someone to heaven without them dying, well, it isn't totally new. We see it with Enoch way back in Genesis, and with the prophet Elijah in 2 Kings. The only difference this time around is that God isn't just coming for one person, he's coming for a whole generation of believers at once. So, how long does a transformation like this take? Is it, a slow, gradual thing? Nope. Not at all. The Bible is incredibly specific about just how fast this all happens. The original Greek word Paul uses is automos. And yeah, that's where we get our word atom. It literally means a moment of time so small, so tiny, that it can't be divided or cut any smaller. In other words, it is instantaneous. And then Paul gives us this perfect word picture for it, in the twinkling of an eye. Just think about how fast you can blink. This great transformation for all believers, both living and those who have died, will happen that fast. It's going to be sudden, unmissable, and totally immediate. So this naturally leads to another question, right? If this event is so huge, why don't we read about it in the Old Testament? And Paul's answer takes us right back to that key word he used earlier, mystery. So we're back to that keyword mystery. And remember, this isn't a whodunit we have to solve. The Greek word mysterion is all about a divine truth that God kept under wraps in the past, but is now, at just the right time, pulling back the curtain on. Here's a great way to think about it. It's called the two mountain peaks analogy. Imagine you're an Old Testament prophet standing on a hill. From where you are, you can see two huge events in the distance, two mountain peaks. One is the first coming of a suffering Messiah,
The other is the second coming of a reigning king. But what you can't see from your vantage point is the vast valley that lies between those two mountains. Well, that valley is the church age, and the rapture is a key event happening down in that valley.
And this is exactly why the rapture is a uniquely New Testament revelation. It's part of the mystery of that valley. It's new information revealed through Jesus and the apostles specifically for the church. It's a reality the Old Testament prophets just couldn't see from where they were standing. Okay, so what is the point of all this? Why is this truth so important? Because knowing about this future hope is meant to have a profound, real, practical impact on how we live our lives right now, today. This promise isn't just for some idle speculation, It's meant for active stabilization. It's supposed to ground us. It calls us to be steadfast, to be immovable in our faith, because we know our final destination is secure. And that truth should motivate us to pour ourselves into serving God, knowing that that work has eternal meaning. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. This incredible promise of a great transformation, it's not just some far-off event to think about. It's a present-day anchor for our souls. It gives our lives purpose, it gives our work meaning, and it gives our hope a solid, unshakable foundation, assuring us that nothing we do for God is ever wasted. Your hope is secure,